That's not good. Okay, not that easy.
You can fucking plant a tree here.
Welcome back to the channel. The day is beautiful, and yesterday the day was beautiful. We put the bigger tires on the Pajero, and now we have a SRP, severe rubbing problem, and that's what I'm trying to solve today. So we have this beautiful bastards on. So you see this point, there is that much of the space, and of course when the car would not be jacked up, the wheel will go higher. We have a rubbing problem here. I think it's around a centimeter in this area. So today I will try to solve the problem, probably removing this and having a look how to fix it. I will try to do it without taking wheels off because they're heavy, and I will get this whole plastic part off and see what we can do instead, and see if this solves the problem enough. I don't know how easy it will go, if it will be enough. Let's get to it. We are starting with the right hand side, and as you know, I rebuilt the whole front of the car, so the fasteners will be for sure different than in your car. I will start from removing these two fasteners, and there are two fasteners on the bottom here, and we will try to get rid of this plastic and see how it looks without it. So I have the plastic off, and as you see, there is a steel supporting structure underneath, and there is a lot of rubbish collecting in this area, so it's not good design anyway. Yeah, let's see if just taking the plastic off it will be enough. So I want to have a look on this piece a little bit closer, so I will remove one more screw here, then we can flip this up better. Let's see this element. If you go to one of the first videos I was making about this car, I rebuilt the whole front of this car, and I repaint these pieces as well, give them some new coat, and I will probably modify them, just bend them a little bit forward. So what I want to do now, I will measure the distance between this steel piece, which is stabilizing everything, and the surface of the upper arm, just the distance. So after I bend this forward, I have something to check the progress, let's call it progress. So we will try to measure it as good as possible. I mean, it's not the rocket science, but we have like 41 centimeters to this sticking out piece from the upper arm. It's 41, and here we have 41 and a half, I would say. Yeah, 42, I would say 42, and then 41. And now I will bend this forward, and we will see if we have a better measurement later. So we just want to get rid of that. So there you have it, guys. The part is out, and you can already see that the geometry of this part is not ideal. So maybe that's the reason in the first place why it's rubbing. Let's go and bend it a little bit. So I will show you how it end up. So I give it some bend. There is some twist. It also looks a little bit crooked. I don't know, I don't really like it. Let's go and try to fit it to the car. So I have bent it now forward. I will check now the distance, and I would say we have here 43 centimeters, 44 centimeters. I need to move it now forward a little bit. So I will put it all together like this. Do the other side. Let's go to the other side. I hate this bloody plastic shit. So yeah, we just need to bend it a little bit more this way. I bend this one and I give it a little bit more. I don't know if if this will not backfire on me, but we'll see. I will just put it on and we will see how it works. So I will show you how it looks at the moment. That's, I think, the most critical place. Yeah, I will lower car down and we'll see. So that looks promising, at least. I will see. I will drive out on the surface there and then we'll see. I tested and I realized that the right side was still rubbing a little bit, so I quickly lift it up, remove it, bend it a bit more, put it on, and I think at the moment I hit the point where you really can't push the front fender farther forward because it starts to be a lot of tension on the plastic piece. So next stage would be, if this is not enough, and I think it's not enough, I think the next stage will be to build a new part which actually just go down and on the fender, and then we will cut the bottom edge of the fender totally and move the bolts on the front surface. But I will do it probably in the workshop where I have access to the fibers and the glass and everything. So, but I will drive now out and we will have a look if we have a clearance, because I need some clearance to drive to the workshop and the rest we can do there. So now we are going to have a look how it's actually going around this piece. Do we have a clearance or not, and how much? Huh. Still not enough. Okay, other side. Yeah, that's not good. all right, good. That's it. So there we have it, folks. The job is not done. I think we need to go a little bit farther and modify a little bit more. So I thought it would be quick and easy, but it will be not that quick and not that easy. Maybe 3D scan it and then develop some part which would perfectly fit there. I mean, that's not a bad idea. Hey guys, another day fighting with the rubbing. Today we are investigating the left side and trying to work out what to do. So I took the left front wheel off and I want to take this out. So everything here need to go out. I want to use the option and clean this area as well.
So, and look at this. Look at that. You see that? You can fucking plant a tree here. That's why I have this nice carpet here. I don't know if this is actually collecting after every time you go off-roading. And we will leave this to dry nicely and clean it even more. I will try to find some tool that allow me to get there. So yeah, we will need to do this bolt new or make a thread something, and then I will leave it to let it dry, and then we will clean it properly, and then probably put some conservation agent on it, and we'll see what to do about that, because that's interesting. You see that this is full as well. This is so bad design. This is design that looks good but don't work good. It's good 2 kilograms of stuff, and all was here, and there is still a little bit more, but I will let it dry and then clean it again, and probably use some compressed air to maybe blow it out. Try to get this plastic off. I see already here there is some corrosion started. Probably good idea to take this plastic off, but that will be another episode. If you don't want to miss it, subscribe and like. What we are doing now, we have this situation here. So we have this piece, and this is like a standard holder for the bumper, but we need more room here in front. Our tire is coming very close here, so what I want to do, I want to push it forward. So I think the easiest way will be to create something, and my idea is I will scan it now with the 3D scanner, all this area here, and then I will take this off and I will scan it one more time, and I will just design some piece which will hold edge here. So I don't know how much you know about 3D scanning, but there are some rules which I know and some rules I probably don't. The ones I know, it's like you don't want to have everything shiny, because shiny is not good for the 3D scanner. And you don't want to have too much light because it's not good for the 3D scanning. So that's why I was yesterday in the middle of the night running with the scanner around my car, scanning front and the back. Those scans are available on my Patreon if you want to check them out. And now now we will go and scan with this scanner this area. We'll see how it goes. Maybe I will need to move you because you need to have a little bit of space for scanning, and there is not much space here, so I try to get as wide shot as possible, and I need to have quite a lot of surface around as well to realign both scans later. So I will take much more material than I really need to have as much reference as possible, and I will see how good I can really get to the places I want. There are probably a little bit smaller scanners for the purpose of doing stuff like that, but I love that scanner because that's the one I have, or I don't have it, I can use it. So as you see, I take quite a wide scan because I will align the scans later together, so it's better have than need. In most cases it's showing me that I'm just way too close to the surface, because I'm very close to the surface. Surprise. That was dangerous here. Let me just go that. You see? So what I can do now, I will move you around so you are out of the frame, and I will readjust the scanner, and I will add some details. So now we go again. We We are going to scan now the area without this piece. I can investigate here what I actually have scan and how does it look like. And I would say that's what I need, really. So that's the state we are leaving Pajero for now. We let this area dry and we will clean it properly. I will analyze the data, see how the scans work, if this is enough what I need. So welcome back, guys. Now we are in Fusion. I already prepared a 3D scan, so you can see the mesh ended up to be a little bit too much detail, so it was a little bit heavy, but anyway, that's the part I want to build. Yeah, that will be a carbon fiber part infused in the blue foam mold, and for this purpose I have here, you can see pretty much what we are building. So I will get the styropor kind of XPS form milled, put some silicone bag on it, laminate the carbon, and then mill the parts out of the rolling. And yeah, let's do it. You can see here the mold is ready. It's a blue XPS. Now I will take it to the laminating room and put it in the silicone bag to prevent it from sticking to the part, and then we will go on from there. I will laminate it on the aluminium table, and in this moment you can see making a first mistake, so putting a sticky tape too close to the edge of the table, but we will deal with that. Yeah, silicone bag, it's made out of silicone, prevent everything from sticking to anything else. The point here is just to make sure that the bag is big enough but not too big, and it's possibly flat against the surface of mold, at least in the area where your element will be. It's of course not always possible to make it perfectly flat, but in most cases you get it close enough, because the plastic is flat and mold it's not, so there will be some wrinkles somewhere, but that's how the cookie crumble. So I'm almost ready, so I turn on the vacuum. It's not full yet, I still leave the small opening on the side to make it just enough to manipulate the bag around and make it as good as possible on this shape, and it ended up pretty good. And now I make a simple template for the layers I will need. So now I'm starting with the P-ply layer, so it's a layer which will be later separated from the part. It will leave the surface open for the primers, further lamination, gluing, whatever you want. And it saves mold from, or the bag on the mold from different factors. If you go a little bit too hard somewhere, you always have this P-ply on to make sure it's safe. Everything is held on the mold with the spray glue, and you want to use as little as you possibly can because it's not good for the quality of your part. Big advantage of having a table with the offcuts is that there is a lot of offcuts, so you can imagine all this carbon I have here on the table
It's just a pile of offcuts which I find leave by other people working on other projects, so that's a big advantage. I was not too particular about the kind of carbon I use here. This is a Biax plus minus 45 degrees. I would say it's something between 450 grams or 600 grams per meter. As I said, it's an off-cut pile, so there is not particular markings on these layers. I could weigh it, but it's absolutely unnecessary for me, so I just take as much as I thought it's good and call it a day. Finishing up with the another P-ply layer just for this finish. Gesundheit. So that was the product fully built, let's say, in the mold. Now we put everything which will be later removed. So we start with the blue foam, actually blue mesh. It's a transport media for the infusion, and this is like a mesh with layer of plastic with a very small holes in it, so you can release it and the resin go through, and yeah, that will make sure that the resin can arrive in every edge and place on the part. You can see here fixing my mistake, making room for another round of tacky tape around. Just cut half centimeter off and then apply another round around for the final vacuum bag. So I'm setting up now my injection point and the sucking side of this infusion. So I will infuse the resin in front of the table, like closer to me, and I will suck it out farther from me. Now applying the vacuum bag, that's the final vacuum bag, so it will be a little bit bigger than the first one, and in this case you want to actually have some kind of creases in the bags in the area where the complicated shape is, so while it's sucking out all air, it can actually lay nicely in the deeper spots to make sure that you have sufficient pressure there. And I'm working from scraps, that's why the bag is so unorganized and there is no straight edges, but that makes the
build cheaper, and I can use some stuff which would otherwise end up in the rubbish. So that's good. So when you are making infusion, you want to have resin trap between your part and the pump. In case you overfill your infusion, the resin will not get to your pump. Now applying a vacuum, you can see I apply vacuum and now try to manipulate the bag to every deeper spots and make sure that the pressure is sufficient everywhere. Just release the pressure, realign everything, make sure there is no big tension, areas of big tension on the bag, because it could break under the temperature or later the day after you leave your part already. So make sure there is no big tension and nice material for every detail. Now close the future inlet to make sure that the vacuum is fully and tight, and that's it. Bit of the cleaning right there. There we have it, preparing my resin. It's probably around half a kilo, standard hardener, making sure that the pipe will not go out from the resin while infusing, just to stabilize it all and make it a little bit more safe. So you can see the resin is flowing. I just want to make sure that the pipe will not fall down and the bucket with it. So you see the resin is flowing. Of course it's flowing in the transport media first and then going deep in the carbon. And that's pretty much how I like to close the inlet on my parts, so I still have some dry spots. And you see I just make knick in the pipe, so there is still some dry fibers in the mold, but that's where the final pressure, now when we close the inlet, the final pressure which start to build up and overflow resin will be squeezed out of the part. So it's good to have a little bit of a dry material there to make sure that the resin has place to go and it's not making your resin trap full. Approved. So we have other parts to actually heat up, so I use the opportunity and give it 8 hours in 45 degrees, which is actually 40 degrees by the part in our case. So the next day you start from cleaning some rubbish, making sure that it's hard enough. If it's breaking in the pipe, it's usually hard enough. It should be, but in case you just break it, and if it's kind of a gummy-like, you already can have some suspicions that something goes wrong, but it was perfect in this case. So let's get it out. So investigating for the general condition of the part, I would say it was like 95%
as I like it. It could be pressed down a little bit more, but you need to be very careful with the blue foam molds because they are so soft. If you press too much with your finger, you will actually get the finger like a spot from the finger in the mold. So yeah, it's kind of a cheap way to do stuff, but you need to be particularly careful with it. So now we are getting to the point what we see in Fusion. So I put it with the left bottom corner into my virtual 0 point on the machine, and then we need to fix the part on it to make sure it's not moving while milling. We are operating here with a 0.5 millimeter tolerance maybe. I'm not too particular about going to the 10th of the millimeter. Absolutely unnecessary and would be hard to acquire with the blue foam mold. So at this point I was pretty happy how they end up, and yeah. You can see some wrinkles. That's what I said with the silicone foil. You kind of always will get some wrinkles, but
Welcome back, guys. Yet another day fighting with the SRP. SRP? Yes, SRP. SRP, severe rubbing problem. So, yeah, the front tires are rubbing. So, I have a solution for it. Out with the old, in with the new carbon fiber, extra light, extra strong. We are going to fix it here, chop this off, and Bob's your father's uncle, or whatever. Let's do it. So folks, that's how it looks when it's on. I mean, it's pretty rigid. I still don't know really how I want to fix it here, if I really need to, or I probably would like to have some screws here, like 3 bolts maybe. So it's getting dark. I just want to show you one more time. I put this fender in just to pre-feed it. I have it on the original position here and here, and as I want it, I can still put here the original clips. So this will be hold it together as it's supposed to be, but I will be able to cut this edge here away. On the other side, the wheel is off, so Out with the old, in with the new. We drill some holes, we put some bolts, and done. So here you can see I decided to go with 3 bolts from the bottom, and I fix it with the rampa inserts. This is like an insert with the thread inside. So I make 3 holes, and then I just glue the rampa inserts to the carbon part. Yeah, it's probably a little bit more effort than it's actually necessary, but it works fine. And you can probably go with the self threaded screws into the carbon. It will be absolutely fine, but I decided to go that way. And now I move to cut the material which is actually bothering with me and was rubbing against the tires, with the multi-master going from the bottom. And yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Nice.
The arch is fitted now. I drill here in the carbon fiber holes, 7.5 millimeter, and we have 2 clamps here, so it's very nice and sturdy here. We cannot install this because everything goes to the front, but it's not a big deal. And yeah, I will put it all back together and then we are going to test it. That will be the end of the video. It's getting very dark. I just came back from work and it's already very dark. Way too dark to make any video. So yeah, in the meantime, I don't know if you can see, I put the plastic fenders on the car. So the next thing will be to cover the tires sufficient, so the tooth don't have a problem. Technical inspection. And yeah, if you stay so long in the video, thank you very much. And yeah, we see us in the next one. Cheers.